Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and before I jump into the exciting things that happened today with regard to the case of Freddie Gray in Baltimore, I want to greet my homegrown partner in crime, Miss Yvette Carnell. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. I have a new hero. I have a new hero, and just one of the most amazing, extraordinary, beautiful black politicians I've ever seen in my life, and her name was Miss Marilyn Mosby. Did you see her press conference today?
Oh, I saw the press conference, and as a person who enjoys political theater, let me just say that was one of the most precise and expertly done press conferences I've seen in a very long while.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
let me
Best press
just
conference
say
ever. Yes.
yes, let me just say that, and this doesn't may not matter a lot to a lot of people, but we live in the era of the Cory Booker, Barack Obama, Duval Patrick politician, where these politicians do everything they can to kind of purge the black aesthetic and purge their cultural blackness, in a way of appearing as copycat. White politicians. They only talk kind of black or whatever in a black dialect or anything like that when they get around black crowds. You go to a church and you hear Obama talk like this, yeah, y'all, and y'all know what I'm talking about. But when he talks in front of the people, he's like this, and I have this, and he can't have any bass in his voice.
Those Negroes need to stop having babies and they
Yes,
need to learn how to be responsible for their behavior. That's what they need to do.
everybody can't be a ball player, everybody can't be a rapper, that sort of thing. And what really struck me, one of the things that really struck me about this press conference was how she resonated with me in terms of every every black woman I went to school with, every black woman I've ever known, every black female friend. She didn't try to suppress that. She was articulate and everything that goes with being a smart, educated woman. That's fine, but that's not what we're talking about when we talk about, being culturally just who you are and just not being afraid of that. So that was one of the things that just kind of struck me in terms of a pivot point in terms of black politics, just in terms of welcoming that. And she even did that when she spoke. She said, in the sense that she promised to get justice for this young man. You don't hear that a lot. That's a bold statement for a prosecutor to promise to get justice for someone. You don't hear that. They say we're going to follow the law, but you don't hear a prosecutor kind of align themselves with the community the way she did today.
Hmm. Yeah, she just to me represents a new era of black politician. I don't like politicians. I don't trust most of them. I've just, my sentiments become quite bitter because they just, it's just rare when you see a black politician who just openly aligns themselves with doing the right thing and with the people. And when I listen to Miss Mosby talk, as extraordinary as she was, I really sensed this authenticity. I said, okay, either I'm really being fooled right now, or this woman is one of those people that should be the mayor of Baltimore one day. She should be the governor of that state. I would love to put her in the White House if I could do that. If I could be king for a day, I'd replace Obama with her because what I'm seeing with Miss Mosby is there's something about her spirit that says this is serious for me. This is real. This ain't about money. This ain't about power. This ain't about me trying to look good for the cameras. This ain't about me trying to impress white people. This is about me telling the truth. And I'm telling the truth because I'm here to represent all those people who don't have a voice. I mean, I literally, it's so funny. You hear about these people in Baltimore that say they were brought to tears watching the press conference. And I'm almost brought to tears just talking about her because I was so inspired by the way she delivered that. I mean, she laid out all the facts very clearly, and she laid it out for the atrocity that it was. She acknowledged the pain of the community in so many ways that you just never see in politics. I think she's awesome. You wrote a couple articles about her today. What were your thoughts as you were kind of writing about her, and what did you learn?
The thing that really struck me, the relationship that black people have with black politicians isn't really good. When you think about it, we've had thousands, of black politicians in the state legislature when you include them in the federal legislature, and we still don't have any real identifiable, achievements as black people. You see the Voting Rights Act being rolled back. They're talking about they're going to gut the Fair Housing, Act. We've seen affirmative action get rolled back. And all of this is happening with black politicians, right? And even when you have black politicians out there as a way of making their way to the top, they usually distance themselves from black people. That's how they do it. Oh, I can't talk about how I'm going to help you, and I can't really help you because that will upset white people. I can't really do anything for you because that will upset white racists. So that's what we normally see as black people. So we're kind of used to being treated as stepchildren. We're kind of used to Obama saying something like, "Oh, well, one boat lifts all ship." No, it doesn't. Things that were done to us as a black community were done to us with specific laws to disenfranchise us. The FHA, when they did the thing that prevented black people from getting mortgages, that was a specific law. When the USDA decided that they weren't going to give black farmers, loans, that was specific legislation. That wasn't some one boat stuff. So now we need specific stuff. But what you see from a lot of these, from most black politicians, is like this distancing. You stand over there, we're going to pretend that we're not associated with you, but wink, wink, we know we're black, and then they don't show it.
Right,
There's
right.
no,
Pass the fried chicken. See,
yeah,
we keeps it real. No,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
that's so
But
lack of substance. Go ahead, please
but you
continue.
don't. But that's not what you saw with Miss Mosby today. You saw her say, "I heard your cries of no justice, no peace." You saw her like put herself in this position, and it felt authentic. And you heard her say, basically, "Listen." She said at the end of the speech, she said, young people, this is our time. And she's only 35. So she deliberately connected herself to the black community because Baltimore is black. So it's not just collecting yourself. It would have been very different if she represented a white community because black politicians will connect themselves with white people all the time. I'm right here with you. But when you're black, we try to pull back, right? And this
Hmm.
is being watched on a national level. She knew when she gave this press conference that everybody was going to be watching, and she still chose not to distance herself. And I mean, we felt that way, regardless of how this turns out. We don't know whether the trial is going to be moved. We don't know whether those police officers are going to get convicted. But regardless of how this turns out, the fact that she did that is meaningful in terms of what it means to black politics. This is a meaningful moment in terms of, yeah, no, don't back away from it. Even if you're pro law enforcement, even if you're all those things, even if you have family in law enforcement, which she does, that doesn't mean that you can't be fair. That doesn't mean that you have to not treat black people like citizens. And I think this is what it felt like. I think black people are feeling what it feels like to be treated as an actual citizen and have a politician be empathetic. We don't get that.
We sure don't. You're absolutely correct. I mean, and I think that that's what it is. I think we're so accustomed to having our pain ignored, or having it written off, or having it excused, or having people blame it on us, that when we hear a politician just honestly say, what happened here was atrocious, and she laid it out just, I mean, just so well. Just she did everything was so well done in terms of how she gave the step by step of how Freddie Gray died, how they continuously denied him access to medical care. They didn't restrain him in the paddy wagon, what they call those things. I mean, she laid that out just beautifully, and I think that she's the right person. The same way Obama was able to appeal to whites and blacks because he's biracial. Right, with Miss Mosby, you can't deny that she is able to respect and empathize with law enforcement because her father, her mother, and her grandfather were all police officers. So she respects good cops, just like I do. My dad was a cop for 25 years. I refuse to run out and say all cops are bad, all cops deserve to die, all cops are horrible, because that's not true. But so she's got that inside connection with the police department where good cops see her, I think, as an opportunity for them to help weed out the bad cops, because I don't think good cops enjoy going through the community with so much distrust that's been built by these officers that are running through these neighborhoods and pillaging and stealing and just robbing the drug dealers, beating them half to death. I mean, all these other things. Talking about black people any old kind of way back at the precinct. Black officers can't say anything about it, and so she just represents so much to so many people. And just so I want to give people a little bit of background on Miss Mosby, so you know who she is and where she's from. She's one of those. Amazing political figures that just kind of emerges to the public consciousness where you say, okay, let's look at the record here. Let's see who this is. So a couple things. Number one, I mentioned her father, her mother, her grandfather were all cops. She went to Tuskegee University, so she's been around a lot of black people. She actually gave a speech recently at Tuskegee where she talked specifically about the fact that justice had not been delivered in the cases of Michael Brown and Eric Garner. She is 35 years old. Now, one thing that is personal is that she has experienced. She seems to be deeply entrenched in the black experience. I know that a few years ago, she had a 17-year-old cousin who was murdered by another kid who mistook her cousin for a drug dealer. So she's
Yeah.
seen the crime, so she wants to fight the crime. She's someone that will go into the black community. She's not going to just support any old craziness in the black community. She wants to help clean that up too, while at the same time she seems to understand that evil and injustice can come from all different directions. So she's not afraid to turn that critical eye on whites as well as blacks. It doesn't matter who you are, and I really like that. I mean, if she were, you know what, I'm going to Baltimore in about a month and a half, and I would be more. She's the first politician I've seen in years where I would say, you know what, whatever you want me to do, if you want me to go out and campaign for you and tell people how much I love you, I'll do that all day long because I think that that's exactly what that city needs. What do you think?
Well, I think this is an important moment, and people have been criticized. Oh, Yvette, this doesn't mean anything. It may not. Like nobody can say how this is going to turn out. None of us can say how this is going to end, right? But in terms of black politics, I think that this at least should be a turning point in terms of how black politicians. You know, for years we've had these black politicians who ingratiate themselves to the power structure, and that has meant nothing in terms of black mobility, black wealth. You know, we've had black wealth stripped away. You know, under the first black president, we've had more black wealth stripped away than any other period in recent history, right? By this recession. And what has not been done to impede this recession. So I think in terms of what Ms. Mosby did, and I don't even know whether she knows that's what she did. I think she signals something in terms of, I hope she signals something in terms of what is acceptable now in black politics. I hope people stop accepting this. You know, we will just accept a black politician because they're black. No, we accept a black politician because they're fair and because they don't walk away from us or run away from us at the first opportunity, or because they don't pretend to act like or be someone that they aren't. They don't take speech. If you're articulate, why in the world would you take a speech class? Or why would you sit around pretending that if you're a black man, that you don't have bass in your voice, or you take it up an octave? Or if you're a black woman, you pretend that that's not culturally who you are. What I think this is a call for authenticity, because when you look at black politicians, what they've been doing really has not worked. You know what I mean? You look at, like, what I was talking about in terms of the Voting Rights Act, affirmative action, everything the little stuff that we did get, we're losing, and we have black politicians everywhere. So what we have been doing isn't working, and so I think when you look at her, you can see, okay, this may be a model that actually works, and I think this is the important moment that goes beyond this specific situation, as awful and as horrific as it is for the Gray family who lost their loved one. I think there's also something here in terms of what black people are looking for now in their politicians, because politicians are basically bankrupt at this point. Most black politicians, there's nothing, they're bankrupt. They have no effectiveness, and the only thing they can do is run as far away from us as they can. This is what works.
Hmm. Well, I think that given again, I don't know everything about Ms. Mosby yet, but whatever
No, none of them.
everything I've read so far seems to confirm what I saw on camera today. And what I think is very important is that we have to understand that when we see a politician who we truly believe represents our interests, who we truly think is represents something different, because I think this is a watershed moment in black politics. Who knows? Maybe eventually black history. I don't know. When we see that politician, we've got to support them in every way that we can, not just with votes, but also with money. I think that if she's running for office, which I think I could tell, she seems like I mean, she's run for office before. I can imagine her running for a higher office because I mean, with this heightened profile, she may run for Congress or something like that. I think people need to make sure that they give to her campaign if they believe in her, and really have her back, and defend her and support her and protect her when they try to destroy her. Because when you come up there and you got sister girl on full display, which she did. I mean, she represented to me the essence of what so many amazing black women can bring to the table in this country, which is a cultural authenticity, but just this level of sophistication, articulation, and accuracy that just cannot be questioned by anyone. But politics has a way of kind of smearing that, twisting that, trying to make you look like something that you're not. So I think that when they come and get her, which they will, we can't make it so that she's standing out there by herself. I hope the people in the city of Baltimore will have her back, because I haven't seen a politician like this before. I just got to tell you the truth. So I'm pretty much done. I don't have anything else to say. I've pretty much laid out all my praise, and I hope it means something to people because I'd never say stuff like this about politicians. I don't like politicians most of the time. I don't trust them. When they call me and they ask me to help them with anything, I just say no, thank you, because I don't want to get mixed up in your bullshit. Excuse my French. But with this woman, I just saw something special in terms of her delivery that just really was emotional almost. So what do you think, Yvette? I'll let you get the
No,
last
I'm
word.
the most cynical, and I think I'm extremely cynical in terms of politicians. I even, let me be honest.
You worse than I am.
Yeah, and I think the structure, I think I think the structure, makes it extremely difficult for even if we do have a good politician to do something good. The structure makes it extremely difficult in terms of how money is flooded into politics. So it makes it extremely difficult, to be a decent politician in America. America's corrupt political system. I mean, America's political system is corrupt beyond, I think at this point probably beyond repair.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the way money flows into it. But I think we should wait and see. But even in my mind, it matters in terms of justice for Freddie Gray in terms of what happens at this point. But I think what we saw in terms of Miss Mosby, regardless of what happens going forward, this was still, to me, a sort of watershed moment in terms of black politics. Now, we want those officers, to get convicted. And I mean, her story doesn't end today, but that doesn't mean that this is not a watershed moment for us. That doesn't mean that this is how we should start looking at black politics in terms of, in terms of, you look back and it's reminiscent of almost the way activists used to talk to black people in terms of that. But you don't see black politicians do that usually. And it may have something to do. I mean, I know Baltimore is a mostly black, as a black city. I know all of that, but it's still not something we get very often. So I don't want people to say, oh, Yvette's saying that, she's the greatest thing since sliced pie and she's going to be wonderful forever and she won't make mistakes or she can't be corrupted. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying, no, that I want you to compare her speech today to any speech that Barack Obama has made where white people are watching, to any speech that Cory Booker has made where white people are watching. And I want you to see, I want you to just look at those, look at those two. I want you to put those three speeches up and I want you to look at them. And I want you to tell me the difference. I want you to, you should be able, if you have grown up in the black community, you should be able to feel the difference in those speeches. One resonates with me and the others don't. So I think, being who you are and not suppressing, who you are in terms of, yeah, I'm a black person. This is really messed up. And, the evidence shows me that it's messed up and I'm going to be with the people on this. And I'm going to do something about it. Nobody ever wants to be with us. People only be with us. People only come with us reluctantly as we pull and tug. And that's black people included. The only ones who jump in front of the camera, first of all, aren't usually the politicians. They're usually, we have a few charlatan activists, Reverend Al. I mean, but that doesn't happen for us. So to feel so vindicated in terms of who we are as American citizens, we feel this made us feel sort of like, okay, this is America. This doesn't happen very often to us. So this is sort of an amazing moment for us to have a black person who's a politician who stands there and doesn't appear to be, scared that, oh my God, what are all these white people gonna do to me if I can't sound too, but I gotta just be like, well, I'm following the evidence and I'm going, or we don't get that. We don't get validated. We don't get vindicated. So this was a good moment. Will that moment last until tomorrow or next week or next month? I don't know, but this was good for black politics. Probably the only good thing I've seen in black politics in years.
Mm. Well, I think that a lot of us can take notes that it's okay to have courage and passion and conviction when it comes to just doing what's right. The days of us having to be scared of white people need to go away. That needs to be in the past. And hopefully this woman, it represents, if she represents even half of what I saw today, if that's even half of who she is on a day-to-day basis, I'll give her my support. I'll give her my money. I'll support her in every way that I can because I think that we need to change. In fact, we need to go ahead and shake out a lot of the old black leadership. Just get rid of it, move on. You had your time, the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That was your time, and maybe a little bit of the 2000s, I guess. And now, I'd say it ended in the 90s. It should have ended in the 90s, but some people just kind of hang around. But now it's time to go ahead and let some other leaders do the job and learn from what you taught them, but at the same time take it to the next level. I'm very excited about what I saw in that press conference. I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it. I mean, I just watched it reluctantly, and when I saw her, spitting that fire like that, and really just telling the truth. That's it. Nobody's asking you to tell a lie or to be biased. Just tell the truth. You know what you saw was unjust, and I think that it reminds me of the fact that I've always felt that black people we're like the political mistress, of many of these black politicians. The mistress is that person where a man might expect loyalty, but he doesn't expect to give loyalty. He expects the mistress to be available to him, but he knows the mistress should understand that he's got a wife to attend to. He expects to receive love, but he's not going to give love, not in public, right? And so today, I think for us, we are the political mistress who's been brought out into the public, and I think that there's a type of dignity that just comes with that, and a pride. So I swelled up with pride watching her speak the truth, be authentic. She's still a sister girl, as sister as you can be. But being sister girl does not mean being ignorant. It means being as sharp and articulate and as educated and well spoken. All these other things that she was, that she was on this day. So she is, I guess they say, the new black. I don't know if that's a corny cliche, but maybe
I
that.
hope,
Maybe.
I hope, I hope she's a new black. I hope Pharrell's not the new black and all of this
Oh
nonsense.
Lord, have mercy.
I
No,
hope
please.
Common isn't the new black. I hope she.
Yeah, yeah. Oh Lord, see, you done got me started now. Yeah, that is not the new black. Right? You know what? Your black world, Yvette Carnell. You the new black girl. You the new black. All right. Well, thank you very much, Yvette. It was great talking to you as usual.
You too.
All right, everybody. This is Miss Yvette Carnell from BreakingBrown.com. Please go look at her blog and please support the blog. I think you got a little donation button on your blog, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do. I do.
People need to
It
click on
costs
that more.
money.
I don't know how
Right
much.
hand side. Click on it. Give me $5. I still
Click it.
appreciate it. 10, 15. Give me what you got. It's
We
Friday.
need to
It's
start a
payday.
campaign. Give Yvette what's in your wallet. So if you got 15 in your wallet, give her 15. You know she gonna do the right thing with it. You know she's not crooked. I've been working with her for years. I know she ain't crooked. And by the way, we also would love your support on a new film that we just made called Resurrecting Black Wall Street. It's all about the Black Wall Street atrocity in 1921. They call it the Tulsa Race Riots, but it wasn't a riot. It was actually a massacre, and we're here to tell that story and to push it and to expose it. So if you'd like to see the trailer, please support the film. It's at resurrectingblackwallstreet.com. That's resurrectingblackwallstreet.com, and resurrecting is spelled with one S and two R's, just in case you're not sure. So please go check it out. So until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.